Hello there and welcome to the Mobile Academy. And if you want to become a job ready Flutter developer, make sure to check out the courses on my website mobileacademy.io. Here you will find all of the courses related to the Flutter development. You will find the professional course as well as the basic course related to the Flutter. You can also find some of the free courses over here if you want to just go and try it out, or if you are just a beginner on the Flutter and then the React Native, you can also find the free course over here. And if you would like to be a full stack developer, we also have the course related to the full stack developer, related to the Node.js, Express, MongoDB, as well as the Flutter over here. And if you would like to join the Flutter bootcamp, there is also a bootcamp course over here. So make sure to go and check out the course over here. There are free and then the paid course. And if you want to be a job ready Flutter developer, this is the course that you want to take. So see you guys on the next lesson. Till then, have a great day. Let us try to see what is MongoDB over here. And if you go to their website, you will see that the MongoDB is a document database with scalability and then the flexibility that you want with the querying and indexing that you need. So it's a quite powerful NoSQL database. Basically, the MongoDB is a NoSQL, or we also call as the NoSQL database over here. And if you take a look over here, let me pull up some image over here, and you have this particular database over here, right? So which is of the MongoDB, and we are going to create our cluster and then the database, which is a type of the NoSQL or the SQL database over here. And after that, we will create the collection. So these are the collections which are basically tables like in the SQL or the SQLite that if you have used previously. And this collection are similar to the tables in the relational database over here. Like we'll create the blog and then the users, reviews, we'll go and create the tasks, and all of those are the collections that we are going to create. And you can think that as the tables in the relational database, and then we'll have the documents which are the rows in the relational database, like the SQL database. We'll call this one as a rows, but in the NoSQL type of the database, we'll call it as a documents over here. Like the each block has the post, right? The users table has the row for each of the users. Reviews has the review row or the document. So this is how basically the NoSQL database basically works. In the MongoDB, we are going to create a cluster and then the database, and database we will create the collections, and inside that particular collection we are going to create the documents over here. And if you go back to their official page over here, and you can see that you can use either the cloud or the server over here. You can download it and install it in your own server as well. And then the MongoDB document model is simple for developer to learn and use, right, while still provides all kind of the capabilities needed to meet the most complex requirement for at any scale. And it also provides a driver for a lot of the languages, right? So you can see that it provides the lot of the driver that we will see later, how we can connect it to our Express and the Node.js to connect to our MongoDB database. And if you go over here, you will see that it is MongoDB store data is in a flexible way, like the JSON, like the document. So you can see it will store in this particular format, right? And then the document the model map to the object in your application, making it making the data easy to work with. And it also provides the like indexing and then the real-time aggregation, which is quite powerful. Later we'll see how we can make all of those. And MongoDB is also a distributed database at its core, so it's highly availability, horizontal scaling, as well as the geographic distribution are built on top of this particular MongoDB. And MongoDB is also free to use as well. So you can see that the version that it has published, and you can just go and read this one, and You can also read the high availability through the built-in replication and failover, horizontal scaling with the native threading, right? End-to-end security and all of this stuff. Just make sure to go and read all of this over here. The main feature that it provides, that as we saw previously, is the document-based database, or the NoSQL database over here. And later we'll see how we can make use in our application. If you are a little familiar with the SQL database or the relational database over here, it will be quite simple to learn over here. But if you don't have any database background, that's perfectly fine. We'll see how we can create the database, collection, and then the documents. So make sure we just remember three things over here. The NoSQL database runs on the NoSQL database, and we need to create a collection, which is tables in the relational database. And the third thing is we need to create a document. So documents is like the rows in your tables in the SQL database. So that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up in the next one. Till then, have a great day. Let us try to learn about the Mongoose over here. And Mongoose is basically object, or the object data modeling, or the ODM library for the MongoDB and then the Node.js, and it has the abstraction on top of the MongoDB itself. So you can directly use the MongoDB library over here, or the package over here, but once we use the Mongoose, it adds some kind of the abstraction on top of the MongoDB, similarly like the Express adds the abstraction on top of the Node.js over here, and then the Mongoose adds the abstraction on top of the MongoDB as well. So using that, we can it makes our development simpler. We can easily create the schema, and then the models, and this all kind of the sorting, right? Do the data validation, write the queries and middlewares. All of those are easily provided with the help of the Mongoose. So it is much more easier and productive to use the Mongoose over here. Or else, if you don't prefer to use this Mongoose, you can also directly go and make use of the MongoDB itself. And now in the coming up lecture, we'll see how we can make use of this particular Mongoose, and how it's going to help to create our schema and then the model, and do some kind of the code operation, right? Creating, updating, deleting, right? It also has the powerful feature like querying, filtering, sorting, writing the middleware methods, and all those stuff. So let's meet up in the next one, and we will configure this in our application. Till then, have a great day. Let us go and create the MongoDB database, and for that we need to go to the mongodb.com over here, and we'll create a free account over here, and you can see that it has start as a free option over here. And you can just go and read the documentation over there. For now, we are just going to create a simple account, and we'll create a free trial account over here, and we'll configure it with our Express app. And I will try to use my Google account over here, and you can also try to use your Google, or just sign up by the email over there. And I'll just go and continue and give some permission over there. And let's try to wait for this one to complete over here, and let's try to accept this one and submit it. And that should be good enough to log into our MongoDB account over here. So now we have a MongoDB, and we'll go to the we need to go to the Atlas database over here. And here let's try to see some of the configuration, learn about the MongoDB, and new to the MongoDB, right? So if you are a little familiar, then you can change this configuration. So let's try to currently we are using the JavaScript and the Node for this one, right? And just use for the other cases, and I guess that should be fine. Optional. And here what we need to do is we are currently using for the mobile, and that should be fine. Just click on finished for this one, and I guess that should be fine. And now we need to create our data. I'll just go to the I will do it later. I'll just click it from, I will do it later over here. So once we are here in our dashboard, what we need to do is we can just go to the database section over here, and we need to create our first database. And for that we need to choose we need to create a cluster and choose some of the configuration like the cloud provider, region, and then the spec. So just click on this build a database button over here, and we'll select the free tier from here because we are just practicing over here. So I'll just select this particular free tier and give a name for your cluster. You can just give any name, and then a provider you can choose between the AWS, Google Cloud, and then the Azure over here. And I'll be selecting the AWS over here, and the region I'm select Mumbai, but depending on your requirement, if you are you can find your nearest location from here and just select it, that one. And I guess that should be the one that I want to do over here, and I'll just go and create a deployment. So that should create a cluster for us, and I'll just go and select this motorcycle over here, and I need to select a bridge. So I'm not sure why it is giving me this one, and just go and verify for that. I guess that should be fine. Now it should create that one for us, and the cluster is created. And now we need to create a database user and then the password over here. So what I will do is I'll just go and cancel for this one. And once the cluster is being created, the next step is we need to create the user and password. You can just create just now as the pop-up was shown, but you can also go and create it from the database access over here, and you can create the new user over here. Just go and create the new user. So you can just go and select the username, password, and you can select the role, right? And the other stuff like the temporary and all of those stuff over here. So I'll just go and create the new database user over here, the user and then the password. Make sure you create that one because I don't want to create it over here. So I'll just pause my video and I'll just come create the user and the password, and I'll be back over here. And once you have generated the username and the password, you need to copy it somewhere safely, right? And then save it somewhere safely. Later we need to use it, and that particular username and the password in our database connection from our MongoDB, connected to MongoDB from our Node.js and the Express app over there. And once we have done, we need to select the built-in role. So I'll just select the admin role from here. And then other than that, I think that should be the one that we currently require. So no configuration role, and then 0 selected. I guess that should be fine. Select the predefined role from here, and you can just go and read the documentation from here. But I guess that should be fine over here. So we don't want to provide any of the other thing over here. So let's just go and add that particular user over here, and you can see by default we get the Atlas admin and then add admin role. So resource is for the all over here, and then you can just go and edit this one, or you can delete that user, right? So that should be fine. So once we have the username and then the password, we are good to go. And also our this particular cluster is ready. And if I go to the browse the collection from here, currently we don't have any of the collection. So this is the sample data that is there. So I can just go and delete this one. So if you want to keep it, that's fine, but let's just go and delete the essay, and you can just go and drop this particular database from here. This is not what we require. We need to create the new one, and load a sample data set. If you want, you can just go and load the sample data set, but we don't require that one. We need to create our own collection over here. So you can just go and add my own collection, and from here you can just give our database name. So that will be of the, let's say, tax over here. Sorry, this should be of the let's say TSK tax database name, and you can just click on this one to read more of the information. So you can see do not rely on the case. So make sure if you have named this one or name this one, so it's a case sensitive later once we are connecting, right? So we need to take a note on that one. So I have a tux, so I'll just make this one as a tux over here, and the database name is of the tux. Collection name, enter the collection name. So let's just create the tux as well. So tasks tux over here, that should be the one. And other than that, I guess that should be fine, and just create this one for now. And this should create a collection for us. The database is of the tux, and then the we have the collection of the tux over here, and currently we don't have any record, but later we will see how we can add that record from our front-end application. And for now, that should be fine. And now we have successfully created our cluster, and then we have our database, and then we also have the one collection, and it is an empty collection for now. And we also have created the database access, user, and then password. And the next step is you also need to allow the IP address over here. And currently you can see that only this IP address is allowed to connect to my current database. But if you want to add some more IP address, you can just go and add it from here, or you can allow it from everywhere. So this is a quite security risk if you are allowing it from everywhere, but depending on your requirement, that should be fine. And for now we are just going to connect it from everywhere. Or you can add, if you have a static IP, you can just provide and connect it from there only. But since my IP address is a dynamic one and it changes frequently, at least once a day I restart my the router, so it has the automatic restart set as a timer. So that IP address automatically change every time for me. So I need to add allow the list from everywhere for now. But in case you want to be more strict, you can just add your specific ID over here and just confirm this one over here. And I'll just go and delete this IP address for now. So that should be the one, and all of our access should be fine. We have the user access, we have the network access, and we have set up our database as well, which is of the cluster, database, and then the collection. So next step will be to connect. So let's do that on the next one. Till then, have a great day.